Hey guys, it's Frank from Cruising with Wheels. How many of you have run into the cruising know-it-alls or the cruising bullies on a cruise ship or at home? Well, find out what generates this type of person in this episode of Frank Pushes Back. So, what is a cruise know-it-all? Well, let me give you some examples. The first example I have is the one cruiser know-it-all. Yep, that cruiser who's only been on one cruise in their entire lifetime, but thinks they know everything about cruising. And they're telling you and everybody else who will listen what they know, what you should do when you cruise, and all the inside, this, that, and whatever. And most of the information they're giving you is totally wrong. Because they don't know jack. They haven't been, multiple cruises, multiple cruise lines. How could really be an expert on cruising? I mean, Kevin and myself, we've been cruising for about 20 years on a lot of cruise lines. Close to 30 cruises, and we learn something new every day. And of course, with our YouTube channel, we bring it to you. But these one cruiser know-it-alls, one cruise, and they're like, I know it all. In fact, you know what? I just got off that first cruise, and I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel on cruising, because I know it all. And I'm going to be able to give advice to the world. All my one cruise expertise. Give me a break. Lord, you don't know nothing. Now, the next one is called what I term the my cruise line is better than your cruise line know-it-all. The person who took a cruise 15 years ago on a certain cruise line and is telling you that that cruise line that you're sailing on is crap because they had a horrible experience 15 years ago. I mean, come on. It was 15 years ago. Seriously, I'm pretty sure things have changed in 15 years. But no, they're assuring you that that cruise you're going on is going to be a disaster. Because when I was on that cruise, 15 years ago, this happened and that happened and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. And I asked for this and I asked for that and they weren't very polite to me and I thought they were rude and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, please. I'm sorry, but cruise lines have had dramatic changes, I would safely say, in 15 years. I mean, things change from year to year. So you can just imagine if we were to roll back 15 years, what it was like. I mean, I can tell you that 20 years ago when I started cruising, and I can myself compare to what it is now. It's totally different. Different cruise ships, activities, dining, food, and menus, theater shows, the check-in process, disembarkation, everything's different. The training, I could go on and on and on. So don't tell me my cruise is going to be crap just because yours was 15 years ago. You think maybe you should just get over it? The third one I call the attention-seeking know-it-all. The person who's like, well, I was on the cruise ship. Everyone loved me. Oh, please. I was on that cruise and the captain held the door for me and and the captain picked up the napkin that I dropped and the captain sneezed but I'm sure he was looking at me, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh my God, girl, come on. I mean, who cares? Stop the attention seeking. And shouldn't the captain be on the bridge? I mean, please help me out here. Shouldn't the captain be on the bridge, sailing the ship, for all this talk about? I mean, is he a stalker, or was he stalking you? It seems that every story you're telling, there was a captain next to you doing this, that, and whatever. I sincerely doubt it. I mean, give me a break. Honestly. And then, we have the stories of, oh, I must be the favorite passenger on board. I got a platter of chocolate-covered strawberries delivered to my cabin. I'm the favorite. Girl, everybody gets that pretty much. Okay? You're not the favorite. Okay? Thousands of other people are getting platters of chocolate-covered strawberries. I kind of wouldn't hang my hat on that one. So, I think you need to move on. That little story is you're just beating a dead horse, because people are going to look at you and go, yeah, so? I got one too. In fact, you know how many crew members I saw with rolling carts loaded with platters of chocolate-covered strawberries? Yeah, honey, everybody gets one. Move on with your life. I mean, it's just crazy. The next one I call the name dropper know-it-all. And that's the person who's constantly name dropping. When I was sailing on Princess, blah, 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 blah. Oh, when I was sailing on Celebrity, yada, 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 yada. I mean, oh my God, I'm sure I'm going to hear followed by, oh, when I was sailing on the Titanic. Girl, please! Who cares? No one cares. We've all sailed before, okay? We've been on all these cruise lines. You're not the only one who's sailed on those cruise lines, okay? I mean, it's, stop being the name dropper, okay? And the name dropper's cousin, you know who the cousin is to the name dropper know-it-all? It's the status dropper know-it-all. Yeah, that's the cousin. You know what I mean. The person who's always name dropping their status. Well, I'm Platinum Plus. Oh, yeah, oh gosh, yes, well, I'm approaching diamond status. Oh, and I get priority this and priority that, and and I was greeted and people were kissing my butt, and I was shaking hands with everyone, and I think there was going to be a balloon party for me, and they were going to rain diamonds on me, and I was going to be invited to sail the ship, and I mean, who cares? Okay, stop the name dropping. I mean, gosh, it's really crazy, I want to look at these people and I want to go, really? Wow. Sounds like that 50% off your laundry is really working out well for you. Is that what you got? 50 off laundry? Who cares? All those big perks and priority this and whatever? Don't care. It's no big whoop whoop to me or anybody else. I mean, it's nice, but I think most people could live without it. We're tired of hearing all the name-dropping, status-dropping, blowhard know-it-alls. Girl, please. And the last one is the social media bully. That's right, the bullies on Facebook. Now, they're a combination of all the previous know-it-alls, because they get on Facebook and they're in all the cruising Facebook groups. And they're there with an attitude because they know everything. And the rest of us, we're all stupid and we don't know anything. And if we ask a question, it's, oh, God, what a dope. Are you kidding me? Well, when I cruise, blah, 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 and then we have to go, we have to listen to the whole history of their lives and how they're more important because they cruised all the time. But you know what? No one really cares to hear about that. And then, if you say, God forbid, anything remotely negative about an experience you might have had on a cruise line, you've got the crazy cult cruisers. Oh, That's right. I'm telling you, I'm begging you, watch my Tales from the High Seas, episode 28, Crazy Cult Cruisers, because you will hear what Kevin went through when he ran into a nutjob cultist on a cruise ship. She went over the top, spastic, mental, because he was having a conversation with someone else about how he was just kind of not liking the cruise. This crazy cuckoo bird was screaming at the top of her lungs and yelling, threatening that she was going to get the officers of the ship to throw Kevin overboard. Yeah, and I swear to God, hand to God, what a nut. Seriously. There's some real Lulus out there, and you can't say one eensy, beensy, teensy little negative comment, because they will go off the rails on you. And, you know, we see it every day when people comment on our videos, and if we make a reference to a certain cruise line, boom! They're there with a negative response. And you're like, oh yeah, here we go, we got one. You know, did you notice? Yep, this person, I remember her. This is the second time we've mentioned a specific cruise line, and they've come back with their comment of, it's our problem, it's our fault, it's our. God forbid it's not the cruise line. So we know where they stand. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Yep, we've experienced it firsthand. Now, as I said, there are so many cruising Facebook groups out there. And Kevin and I have joined so many of them only to get kicked out of the group. Because, God forbid, again, you have said something negative. And they don't, the moderators, the administrators are like, how dare you? Because this is a cruising forum about Carnival. Or this is a cruising Facebook forum about NCL or Celebrity or Princess. How dare you come in here and say you didn't like the dinner you had on a Princess cruise? Get out, click, and they bounce us out. It's really ridiculous. It's crazy. And I have to tell you that having been thrown out of so many Facebook cruising groups, that is the number one primary reason why I started my Facebook group Cruise Chat. Because I had had enough of it. I had had enough of being bullied by the cult cruisers, of being constantly censored for my opinion. And Kevin and I weren't in there railing on and, being horrible and saying, terrible, terrible things. We were just, like everybody else, we were just telling our experience. So I created Cruise Chat. And there is no bullying to be had in Cruise Chat. No one will censor you. You must be polite and adult. And if you are found to have bullied someone or nasty, then you will be bounced, because that is something we won't tolerate. But it's an open forum. It is for cruisers from all walks of life, from every cruise line. And we welcome everyone. And we want your opinions, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we want the truth. The cruising community wants to know the truth. They want all the information so that they can make an intelligent decision on what cruise line. We hear a lot of crazy stories of things that have happened. And of course you have to say to yourself, I'm listening and I'm reading and I'm taking it in with a grain of salt. But in the end, the decision will be mine. Because I heard bad things, but then I heard good things, and then I heard in between things. There's always three sides to a story. But I just want to say that life and cruising isn't all sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns. And that's what these other Facebook groups are putting on everybody by not letting people be honest and telling what really happened on their cruise. We're not going in there just because we want to bash Carnival or bash NCL or bash princess or celebrity or Royal Caribbean. That's not the purpose. The purpose was that I just got off the NCL getaway, and this is what happened. And I went to guest services, and then this is what happened. And I wasn't happy with their response. And then so I came home and I made a formal complaint. And then the person is taking you through what happened. People want to know the process. That's what a forum is for. Why are we censoring that? I just don't get it. I don't believe in censorship. And again, we're not a YouTube channel like some other YouTube channels that we delete comments we don't like. We don't do that. Now, I have said before that all our YouTube comments are held for our approval. And the reason we do that is because, we have the trolls out there. And we have to censor the trolls. The trolls that are coming out going, you effing this, you effing that. I hope you both die a horrible death. You effing faggots. So, yeah, we hold all comments. And when we see things like that, we delete to the garbage can. But if somebody makes a comment and says, no, I don't agree with you. I think you're wrong. This, that, and whatever. Or, I think you were over the top. I think you were too harsh. I think you're being too much of a drama queen. And I would just settle down. Like, that's okay. That's your opinion. And those are comments we approve. We are not going to censor just because you don't agree with us 100%. We only censor the vile, disgusting, negative, horrible comments that we don't want the rest of our subscriber family to be subjected to. So, yeah, those we toss in the trash where they belong. I want to thank you for joining me today for another episode of Frank Pushes Back. Remind you, if you're not a regular family member of Cruising with Wheels here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Come on. And again, we have our regular Facebook page, Cruising with Wheels. And I just told you all about my cruise chat forum. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Snapchat. Oh, here we go. I'm losing it. Rewind, people. Time is going by and I'm losing my speech. Click. Let's try it again. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. So, on behalf of Kevin and myself, I want to remind all of you, travel safe and cruise often.